I'm going to introduce you now to the text tools that are in Polarr. Very easy to get to. Over on the left hand side we've got our button, that's text tool, and it pops out our little panel here. And we've got text and we've got shapes. And just for good measure we've got dividers. Okay, so let's add some text to this photo of San Francisco here. I click on add text and you can see it puts some dummy text in there that I can, as it helpfully tells me, double tap to edit. So I'm going to click on that and I'm going to add San Francisco 2016. There we are. If I have the text selected, I can click off the text. You can see it disappears, its properties panel. As soon as I click on it, it comes back, and here's where I can select font and sizes and things like that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at font, and very helpfully it gives us the name of the fonts, but also critically they're actually a little rendering of what the font looks like. So I might pick copper plate. There we are. And if I want to go back and affect another property, I can just click the little back on the panel. What have I got here? So we've got size. Let's make it a bit smaller, like so. Now, I don't need to worry in this case about line spacing or letter spacing, but I will quickly show them to you. So if I edit the text and I put some of the text onto a new line, line spacing literally controls the distance between the lines that you make. So if we had it like that, we'd probably want to take it make them a bit closer together like that. Letter spacing is much the same thing, but it's the distance between each letter. So we can stretch things out, make them look a bit more widescreen and dramatic, but I'm going to take those back to the normal settings. Angle also sets the rotation, so that's very quick and easy. Colour here changes the colour, so I might say that I want some blue text, in which case I grab the bottom slider here and I move it up, so shift it up towards the blues, and then I can grab the little dot that's in here and I can move it around and set it to the exact blue that I want. So I'm just going to double click in there again, and I'm going to now move my entire text box up to the corner. I may decide I want that to be an outline, although that's in that particular colour that's not terribly visible. So I'm not going to do that, but I have the option to do so if I want. If I move it back down, just put it over the city, I've got two further options. I've got opacity, so this is how much of the text with the pure colour of the text blends with the background, almost like a fade up, fade down effect. So I could set it down a little bit if I wanted. The other option I have is blend. Now this, I won't go too much into what's actually going on, but you can play around with it, and it's a different effect from opacity. It's not the same thing, and it produces a different look. But I'll talk about that in a later video. Right, okay. I'm looking at this, and I could have put that up there and sent that off, and it's okay. But let's do something a little bit more dramatic, and let's do something with some shapes. So I'm going to take out the 2016 at the end there. So I've just got my text San Francisco. I'm going to click back and I'm going to add a shape. And as you can see, the panel here shows me a whole raft of different shapes that I can use. I'm going to use a filled rectangle, which produces that. I'm going to stretch this out to the edges of the frame. I'm going to bring it down to about there. And you may think to yourself, well, what on earth's the point of that? I have no idea. Well, the answer is, what I'm going to do is I'm going to invert this. Now, when you invert it, it has the effect on the text layer and the shapes that you've put on. So you can see my text is actually displaying the background. So what we've actually done there is we've said that rather than be filled in with white, we want all the areas of the shape that I've drawn and of the text to in fact be the background and everything else to be the colour we've selected. So as you can see, if I start changing the colour again here, the background is going to start altering. So let's just click OK to that. We'll keep it on white for now. I'm going to go back to my text layer because everything's still editable. I might pick a different font. Let's try, oh yes, Futura. And I'm going to do some other things as well. What shall I do? I'm going to make it bigger for starters. There we are. Yeah, that's all fine. But I want to put it to the middle, which I had done quite successfully. I didn't realise. There we are. And I'm just going to move it down so the letters just go a little bit underneath. There we are. That is perfect. Right, as soon as I click off it, I'm left with a rather nice sort of poster or postcard that I can send to people. So I hope that's given you some ideas.